Welcome to the Reality Revolution. I'm your host, Brian Scott. This episode is dedicated to helping you to do what you love. It's important that you understand that you can do what you love. And I meet so many people that are unhappy in their jobs and their life. They're doing some 9-to-5 job and it feels like they're stuck in the matrix and they're slaves to a certain situation. Perhaps the job is difficult physically. A lot of people might be making the money they want, but they're just hating the job that they're in. And this episode is dedicated to finding a way for you to do what you love. And have a couple of exercises in it. Probably throw in a few affirmations. And I want you to come back to this episode on a repeated basis. The first thing I notice is that people do not believe they can change their jobs, they can find what they want to do, to find their purpose. I want you to get something clear. You are a special, unique person, and you have a meaningful contribution to make to the world. Every person is born with a purpose. There's a reason you're here. You have a role to play that no one else on the planet or the universe can fill. And it makes me so sad. So many people do not find their purpose and it's too late. If only you can find your unique role, then you can change everything. The special contribution you came here to make is your life's work. When you are doing that work, you're following your higher path, and your life will be filled with increasing joy, abundance, and well-being. So say this with me. As I do what I love, money and abundance flow freely to me. Many of you may think, oh, I can't do that. I just won't make enough money, or it's not going to work. But there's always a way. Say it with me again. As I do what I love, money and abundance flow freely to me. Finding your life's work allows you to create abundance and money easily. The job or activities that are meant to be your life's work involve doing what you love with your time and energy. When you love what you do, you feel alive, happy, and fulfilled. So many people, billions of people on this planet, are doing what they hate just to feed themselves, to find a little bit of security. But it's not enough and it's not worth it. When you do what you love, you radiate joy and draw many good things to you. When you're doing what you hate, you draw more things that you hate to you. So I want to help you do that. You can make money doing work that you do not like, but it will take more effort. Not liking what you do with your time and energy diminishes your flow of abundance. Loving what you do brings abundance more easily and effortlessly. Think of gardeners caring for their crops. The gardeners who love their crops will go out whenever necessary to weed and prune and till the soil. They will protect their plants and oversee even the smallest detail. They'll watch lovingly over each plant, doing everything they can to give it the opportunity it needs to grow strong and bear fruit. Of course, there are crops that are more beautiful and more fruitful than those of gardeners who resent the work, tend their plants only when they have to, and put minimum attention into gardening. All will reap a harvest, but gardeners who love their crops will have the larger harvest every single time. They will also feel that growing their crops is fun and joyful, while the other gardeners will feel that it takes much hard work and struggle to produce even a small harvest. If you are already doing what you love for a living, I'm so proud of you. Please share in the comments how you got to that point and how important it is to do what you love. Having money is important. If you want to get a better job, find a more meaningful work, go to school, Start your own business, create more enjoyable activities in your life, or look at ways to make your life's work more effective. Come back and listen to this. It will show you how to use your energy to easily draw you to a job or career or activities you enjoy. Activities you love involve using skills and talents you will use in doing your life's work. This work can take many forms. One job may represent your life's work at one time in your life, and other jobs may at other times. For example, one man's life work was to inspire people to bring out the best in them. In his jobs as a waiter and a busboy and a clerk and a warehouseman, he always cheerfully encouraged people and helped them discover their strengths. Later in life, he started writing and wrote inspirational books that encouraged people to be all they could be and live joyful lives. Once his books were published, he became a popular public speaker, traveling around the country giving inspirational talks. He brought his highest skills of inspiring people to each job, although the forms of his jobs changed and evolved as he grew. It's not about the job, it's what you're doing. So say it with me and believe it. I have a unique, special contribution to make. I have a unique, special contribution to make. I want you to believe that. Say it to yourself. You will recognize when you are doing your life's work by the feelings of vitality and aliveness it gives you. You will feel that your life has greater meaning and that you are making a worthwhile contribution. You will have a compelling vision or goal. You will feel happier in every area of your life. Your work will allow you to express more fully who you are. It will help you grow and evolve. You do not have to change jobs to do your life's work. You can make a meaningful contribution in any job you have. In whatever role you play for in any job, you can focus on how you are helping people. You can spread good feelings and touch everyone you contact with inner light. You do not need to have a job or even be in business to be doing your life's work. You can express your life's work through community activities or hobbies. You may be raising a family as your life's work, helping to guide your children's life force energy into a higher order. When your life is filled with meaningful activity, you radiate joy and love and are magnetic to abundance. You can have fulfilling, satisfying work. You can feel alive every day of your life and make money in the process. You can work in a supportive environment around people you enjoy doing what you love. As you use your special skills and talents, you can draw to you the opportunities to make money in ways that allow you full self-expression, ways that challenge and stimulate you. As you do what you love, you enrich the lives of the people around you and add more light to the world. In doing your life's work, you are accomplishing what you came to Earth to do. Whatever you love to do will also help others in some way, for it is the nature of the universe that when you use your highest skills, you automatically contribute to others. When you serve others, giving fully of your talent and skill to whatever you do, your work and services will be in demand, and money will flow to you, even if it does not appear that there will be more money. In doing what you love, trust your heart and follow your higher path, for there will eventually be much more money and abundance from following this path than any other. Say it with me. Everything I do adds beauty and harmony, order and light to the universe. Enlightenment comes from learning to put awareness and consciousness into all you do, bringing the energy around you into greater harmony, beauty, and order. Doing your life's work provides a vehicle for your enlightenment and spiritual growth. For when you love what you do, you naturally put attention and awareness into your activities. Your higher self speaks to you through your feelings, imagination, desires, and dreams. It shows you your life's work by guiding you to the things that are joyful and giving you pictures of what you love to do. Your life's work will be something you think about, feel connected to, are familiar with, or are already working on. It may be something you do in your free time for fun, or something you tell yourself you would do if you had more free time or money. Your life's work will involve making a contribution to humanity, animals, plants, or the earth itself. Your life's work is also indicated to you by your dreams and fantasies about your ideal life. You may dream of being out in nature, sailing around the world, writing a book, creating music or art, spending your time in training for a sports activity, or raising a family or teaching a class. You may want to run a business of your own or counsel people. Your deepest desires and dreams come from your soul. Your soul is not limited by the identity you have right now. It sees the larger picture of who you are and knows what is possible for you to accomplish in this lifetime. It shows you your potential and direction by giving you dreams of your ideal life. Do not discard your fantasies as mere wishful thinking. Honor them as messages from the deepest part of your being about what you can do and directions you can choose. Your life's work may not yet exist as a job. You can find it may be a job you will create. Humanity is undergoing a shift in consciousness right now. New forms are needed to put this higher consciousness into place. The old forms are changing. Thousands of people are changing jobs and launching new careers. You see it in the news all the time. You are here right now to help build the new earth, the new jobs and structures to support this new consciousness. It is up to you to recognize the new opportunities, sense where the needs are, and create the forms that will fill them. As this new consciousness spreads, you will be feeling a stronger and stronger urge to do work that empowers you and others, challenges you to grow, and offers you a chance to put the energy around you into a higher order. Say it with me. I am in charge of my destiny. I am the builder of my life. You may be feeling an inner urge to change what you're doing and find work that is more meaningful. Many of you have worked in jobs where you found little satisfaction. You may have gone from job to job or stayed with one job for a long time but still felt like something was missing. You may have to create your own jobs, even if you worked for an employer. You may have found that you were frequently making suggestions to your company on how things could work better, looking for ways to improve your job. You may have been hearing whispers that tell you it is time to consider new things. You may have found yourself thinking, I wish I had a better job, or I wish my work were more meaningful. A job you previously enjoyed may now be routine or something you do because you need the money, not because you love it. What was once easy may become difficult or boring. If you're hearing any of these inner messages, it is time to start examining your path. To create your life's work, do not feel you have to do or should do something other than what you're doing. Forcing or pushing yourself usually results in resistance, not forward movement. You do not need to really totally change your life. You can create your life work gradually, one step at a time. Sometimes I have people come to me and they are overwhelmed by the things they have to do. And don't look at it like that. You can create your life's work gradually. What you're doing right now contains the seeds of your life's work. What you're seeking is to express your special skills more frequently and to use them in a way that provides you with a livelihood now or in the future. As you do more and more of what you love, you will create abundance in its highest form, a life that is fulfilling, alive, happy, and full of love. Do what you love and money will come. One way to discover your life's work is to observe what you love to do and what you do naturally, noticing which skills you enjoy using. Your life's work will involve using those skills. Once you have identified them, you can concentrate on using them more and draw opportunities to you to make money and support yourself through them. You can also find ways to use those skills in other areas of your life, turning all your activities into expressions of your life's work. Everything you enjoy doing, every job, hobby, and activity involves using certain skills. You can discover what those skills are by asking yourself questions. What things do you love doing in your job? What are your hobbies? What community activities do you do because you love them? What daily activities bring you joy and aliveness? Are you interested in singing and dancing or the arts? Are you interested in writing or channeling, or counseling, or bodywork? What do you enjoy most? Healing, helping, teaching, or empowering others? Negotiating, managing, organizing, leading, networking? And there's so much more. Are you drawn to business skills, money management, art production, or scientific or research skills? Do you want to develop creativity or imagination or your abilities to observe and draw conclusions? Do you want to work with things such as equipment, computers and machines, or information such as numbers, statistics, or research results? Everyone has a purpose. Do you want room to be creative, or do you prefer work that is straightforward and logical? Do you like to work with your hands or your voice? Do you enjoy communicating with people in person or on the phone? Get quiet for a moment and ask for some ideas about the skills you love to use and the talents you express naturally. For instance, one woman I was talking to found that she was spending all her free time cutting her friends' hair and helping them improve their personal appearance. She loved working with her hands and being around people. One day it occurred to her that her life's work was to help other people feel good about themselves by working with their appearance. She went to beauty school at night while she continued her job. She was eventually able to quit her job and open her own successful hair salon. So say it with me. I honor and use my special skills and abilities. I honor and use my special skills and abilities. Perhaps one of your highest skills is counseling people. You may have a knack for assisting people in finding solutions to their problems and creating new visions for themselves. You can find ways to use these skills in any way you have, and thus do your life's work more fully right now. Or these skills may lead to some form of counseling as your full-time profession. The more opportunity you have to do activities you love, the more you will make the contribution you came to make, and the more abundance you will attract. One woman loved dogs, and her skill in handling them made her home a favorite boarding place for many of her friends' dogs when they went away. She recognized that using her skill of relating to dogs was more joyful than using any of her other skills. So she went into business grooming and boarding dogs. She realized that another talent she had was helping people relate better to their animals, and she found many opportunities to do so. Because she loved her work so much and used her higher gifts, she brought much light into people's lives and the lives of their animals and made a very good living as well. What you are doing right now has within it the seeds of your life's work. As you may have discovered, each time you get a new job, you use many of the skills you have already developed. It is as if every job prepares you in some way for the next one. Every skill you acquire that you use lovingly will be important as you follow your higher path. You may not understand why you took a job or developed a particular talent or ability in the past, but the skills you have learned will be of value to you. Trust that what you are doing now is helping you gain skills that will be used in your greater life's work. For instance, I have a friend that found his career in geology, while seemingly quite different in form from his path of healing people, involved using many of the same skills. As a geologist, he loved his frequent flying trips, observing the earth and mapping out earthquake fault lines. This involved visually recognizing and interpreting detailed earth patterns and sorting out important from unimportant data. It was a skill that took quite a bit of practice to develop. Interestingly, the essence of the skill turned out to be very similar to his ability to look at people's energy patterns clairvoyantly, which also required visually recognizing and interpreting detailed patterns and being able to distinguish the important data from the unimportant data. You are learning skills right now that you may use later in different ways. I had one friend that loved to spend hours crocheting and doing needlework, and later she realized that these developed her ability to quiet her mind and achieve a state of relaxation and meditation, which she uses in skills of channeling. So say it with me. I find my life's work by looking within rather than without. Don't try to figure out what to do with your life by looking at the world and asking, what can I do for the world? Look at yourself and ask, what do I want to do that I love to do? What attracts me? What excites me? What are the issues I am working on in my life? What can I get enthusiastic about doing? One man wanted to open a retail store, although he did not have any previous experience. He chose the type of store to open by looking at what kinds of stores were doing well, rather than at what products he was interested in selling. He chose to open an ice cream store even though he had very little experience with or interest in ice cream. The business was not joyful for him to run, and he did not draw many customers. The store barely broke even though he worked long hours. He finally asked for inner guidance about how to improve his business and got the message that he needed to sell products he was interested in. He began to look at his life, observing what he was interested in and familiar with. He realized that he loved running and that sports had always fascinated him. He remembered how much trouble he had in finding running shoes and other supplies, having to go to many stores to find what he wanted. He decided that he would love to open a store specializing in runner shoes and supplies, which he did after selling his ice cream store. He had no idea that a boom in jogging was just beginning. His store was very successful, and he loved his work. Say it with me. I have a wealth of valuable skills and talents. Everyone does. Don't tell me you don't. You have many skills and talents and an amazing wealth of past experience and knowledge. You can identify some of your skills and knowledge by looking at all the schools and workshops and classes you've attended. Look at the books you've read, the audio and video you've listened to and watched, and the educational programs you have taken. You've acquired skills by listening and watching The Reality Revolution, and you can use that for the skills that you want to develop. When you evaluate your skills, remember all the jobs you have had, even volunteer jobs such as helping out at your children's school or at the church, as well as activities you did after school and during the summer. Do you love organizing and running a household, working on a committee, fundraising, or coordinating a group of people and scheduling their time? Look at your hobbies. Do you belong to clubs such as bridge or sports clubs? Do you love the theater or opera or ballet or symphony? Do you love arts and crafts? Do you enjoy building things, writing poems, or telling stories? You have a rich and varied background of skills, probably more than you have ever taken note of. After looking at the skills you want to use, look at your dreams. The more detail and clarity you can bring to your dreams, the more you'll be able to attract what you want. As you examine your dreams of your ideal life, the things you are drawn to, and the environment and kinds of people you want to be around, you are identifying the elements of your life's work. Your dreams act as a mental model, much like an architect's blueprints that help your higher self go out and bring your higher path to you. So say this with me. I now have my ideal life. Not in the future, not in the past. Now. I now have my ideal life. Your fantasies about your ideal life may not appear to be practical or profitable. They may seem very large and very far away. You may see no way to make them come true. That's normal. It may seem that you need to have a lot of money before you could carry them out. That's one of the classics. I need the money to do it and I just can't get it. You may think that you need to work at something that you do not love while you save money to eventually do what you love to do. Some people say, I will work in this job until I have the money to do what I want. They often do not get the money they think they need and instead spend their lives working at jobs they hate. Go directly to what you want. You'll be much better off doing what you love, for money will come through that also, and usually in far greater amounts. If you want to travel around the world, start with a job that facilitates traveling, such as working for an airline or a travel agency. You will feel much more alive and fulfilled and thus be more magnetic to abundance. What is your dream? Take a moment to get in touch with it. What environment have you dreamed of working in? You may have pictured working outdoors with nature and animals, or you may prefer to work indoors with people or equipment. Decide where in the country you want to work and whether you thrive better in a city or in a rural environment. Do you want to work in an office, drive a truck, or be at a construction site, on a boat, on a plane, in one place or in many places? What would your work environment look like? Think about what type of people you want to be around and the relationship you want with these people. You may want to be their employer or coworker or employee. You may enjoy being with younger and older people your own age, many people or a few people, or you may prefer working alone. Have you dreamed of working in areas such as medicine or nutrition, sports, politics, science, or education? Your dreams are giving you clues about where you might discover your life's work. Pay attention to the issues that arouse your concerns, such as planetary peace or animal rights, environmental issues, the homeless, foreign affairs, space exploration, or so on. And you can design into your work just the right amount of physical, mental, and emotional challenge. Do you like a physically active job? Do you thrive on a busy, active day, or do you like a quiet, peaceful place? Be specific and clear about what you want, because you will get it. One woman found a picture in a magazine of what her perfect office would look like, down to the plants and artwork and usual computer on the desk. She put the picture on her wall and kept visualizing an office environment like the one in the magazine. And several years later, she quit her job and went on a job interview. And to her amazement, she walked into an office that looked just like the picture, except that it had a different computer. And so she got the job, and when she sat at her desk, they told her they had ordered a new computer. Unfortunately, she had forgotten to picture the type of people she wanted to work with and the level of responsibility, the opportunities for advancement, and many other details. She quit her job several months later because it did not suit her deeper needs. Say it with me. I know what I love to do, and I do it. Be clear about the type of office situation you would like. Some of you do best working for a company receiving a regular paycheck or commission, and some of you love to run your own business. You may love working for a large company or prefer a small one. Or you may prefer to work alone. You can have anything you want. All you need to do is decide what it is you want. If you have had past work experiences, reflect on whether you work well with coworkers and enjoy working as part of a team, or prefer to run things by yourself. Some of you like to share risks, and some of you like to make all the important decisions on your own. Decide if you want to work for one employer or do contract work for several employers. What monthly income do you dream about? What level of responsibility do you want? You may dream of working for a large organization and being given larger and larger leadership responsibilities. Think about the level of security you want in a job, the status, and the opportunities for advancement. If you thrive on recognition, include that in your dream. If you want a lot of autonomy and freedom, ask for that as well. Ask yourself if you thrive on a well-defined, structured job, or if you want constant change and variety. Say this with me. I allow myself to think and dream in unlimited ways. What would you do with your days if you could do anything you wanted? Now, many people will say, I want to just sit at home. But I can tell you from personal experience, many people think that's what they want. But when they have no job or purpose, they inevitably get sick and die. It happened to my father. Having a purpose, a goal, doing what you love, keeps you alive. What would a period of several months in your ideal life be like? Would you work 3 or 4 days a week at one task or do something else the other days? Would you work on a variety of projects, or would you focus on one undertaking? Would you work intensely for 1 month and take the next month to do something different? Take the time to daydream and fantasize about your ideal life. And don't put any restrictions on your dreams. If you catch yourself saying, that would be nice, but it's too much to ask for, stop. Ask for it anyway. This is a time to engage in unlimited thinking. The new earth requires unlimited thinking. Don't feel guilt about your dreams. Your soul is telling you that this is your dream. Do not feel you have to create your dreams instantly. The first step to creating them is just putting the pictures in your mind. Your thoughts are real. As you get specific about what you would like, your higher self immediately goes out and begins to create it for you. You do not have to know when or how it will come. Don't worry about the how. So many people get caught up in the how. That'll never happen, but that is not important. All you need to do is to get clear about what you want and dare to dream big. Ask for what you want, no matter how impractical or far-fetched it may seem. Your higher self will go out and begin bringing your wishes to you, and you'll find yourself in a perfect timeline As you allow yourself to dream, you are creating a new reality. You can draw your life's work to you more quickly by developing inner strengths and resources you will need to successfully carry it out. You do not need to take large risks or big steps that are inappropriate for you. By starting with small steps and developing your inner resources, each move you make will be an easy next step. As you take small steps, you'll discover that your dreams are within your reach and easier to accomplish than you imagine. Say it with me. All answers are within me. I follow my inner wisdom. Doing your life's work will require the skills of listening and following your own wisdom. It will require making yourself, rather than anyone else, the authority on what is good for you. Creating your life's work is a process of discovering yourself. You do so by going within, rather than looking for answers outside yourself. Many of you think that others have the answers, particularly in areas you're unfamiliar with. There is a time when it is appropriate to listen to outside authorities, such as when you're new to something and need to acquire knowledge about it. But after you've gathered other people's wisdom and knowledge, it is best to rely on your own wisdom in making decisions. You may think that others know better than you what direction your career needs to take, what investments to make, or what would work for you, but you are the best authority on how to live your life. To create your life's work, you will need to learn to solve your own problems, which you might instead call your challenges or opportunities for growth. While it is fine to seek outside guidance, make the final decisions from your heart and follow your intuition. As you do your life's work, you will be creating your own path from day to day. No one is going to structure it or lay it out. No one's going to give you a blueprint. You'll have a sense of control over your life and know that you are in charge of your destiny. As you commit to your life's work, you commit to being the builder of your own life. You can design your future by being alert and aware of opportunities, knowing when to take action and when not to. You can start to do this in small ways right now. No matter what you're doing, take time to think about your life and look for creative ways to solve some of your problems. Discover your own answers. As you develop the skill of creative thinking, you'll be able to find more effective ways to do your work and be more successful. You can begin to develop the skill of creative thinking by working with some of your simple problems, such as how to cut down on your cooking time if it takes too much time you'd rather spend on other activities. You could decide to cook larger quantities and freeze what you do not need immediately. As you think about how to increase the harmony and flow in your life in small ways, you are developing the skill of creative problem solving. When you encounter challenges on your path, you will already have the skills you need to handle them creatively. And to find solutions, become resourceful rather than enduring bad situations. Look for ways to make them better. Say it with me. I am a valuable person. My path is important. Some of you have difficulty accomplishing your life's work because you are too busy supporting others in their careers or life's work. You may be setting aside your own work until the person you are helping succeeds. Helping others get their work out to the world and being part of a team can be very important. You will know if this role is your life's work because serving in this way will be joyful and feel good deep within you. If you are helping others out of obligation, not out of joy, check again to see if this is truly what you want to do. Some of you are supporting others because you feel your path, ideas, or creativity are not important enough to develop. Your life's work is as valuable as anyone else's, even if it does not seem as significant. Even though other people appear to have more glamorous jobs, make more money, or reach larger audiences, it does not make their path any more important or any less important than yours. What you are here to do is as important a contribution as anyone else's, be it raising your children in the best way you can, making a contribution through the job you have, or healing and helping others. Take a moment right now to ask the part of you that is so good at helping others if it would be willing to commit its energies to helping you discover and carry out your own life work. It is usually delighted to be asked to help. Say it with me. I value my time and energy. Some of you need to develop the skill of honoring your time and energy. You may be a natural counselor, a teacher, a healer, and end up spending more time than you want helping your friends or family solve problems. They may keep you busy for hours on the phone or in person as they seek out your love and reassurance. especially if you've committed to being of service to others. People will take advantage of that sometimes. You may be tempted to jump in and show them what to do, or even to do it for them. It is fine to spend your time taking care of others if it is truly joyful, for doing this may be your life's work. However, many of you put your time into helping others out of obligation, not joy. You may feel you're being selfish, putting time and energy into your own life. Your path is important, and it can unfold only if you put time and energy into it, and it will give you the opportunity to be of the greatest service. Think of friends you're pouring a lot of energy into. Are they truly growing and using your help, or are they just staying the same? Do you feel drained after helping them, or recharged? If you feel drained, if they have not made any real changes in their lives, they are not using your help to grow. They're spending all of your time advising and counseling your friends. It may be that your life's work is to counsel people. You may want to explore ways that you could help people as part of your profession. When you do, you'll be connecting with people who come to you because they are ready to grow. You'll be recharged by helping them, and your assistance will make a real difference in their lives, and you will feel it and you will know it. So say it with me. My path and life's work are my highest priorities. A lot of you end up doing so many small tasks that you do not have time to create your life's work. You confuse busyness with accomplishing your higher purpose. You may have stacks of chores to be done and be rushing around, busy every moment. If you're going to get your life's work, you need to take time to start it. Some of you say, I will do the important things after I finish all these errands, housework, paperwork, and so on. By the end of the day, you may be too tired or have no time left. Do the activities that take you closer to your life's work. First thing each day, or as soon as you possibly can. Spend 5 minutes thinking about your higher path as you wake up. Ask yourself, is there one action I could take today that would bring my life's work closer? Or what is the most important action I could take today? Make that your priority. Do it before you do other things. It may be something as simple as energizing the symbol of your life's work, which I will talk about in a second. Making a phone call, or getting a book about a topic you're interested in, or setting up a space in your house to do a certain activity. You'll be amazed at the way your life will change if the first thing you focus on and accomplish every day is something that will help make your dreams come true. One very important principle in creating your life's work is right timing. You may have heard the expression, an idea whose time has come. Begin now to affirm that you will be in the right place at the right time. Keep that thought in mind and trust your feelings of joy or resistance are helping you create this as a truth. For instance, one person was struggling to write a book. She would force herself to write for an hour or two each day. The ideas would not come, and finally she quit trying. 2 years went by, during which she made sporadic attempts to write, but was never able to stay with it steadily. She kept blaming herself, telling herself that she was a failure, and she just did not have the discipline necessary to write. Her work brought her into contact with many sick people, and she began working with them, teaching them the spiritual principles she knew. Many started to get better or find the inner peace they had been seeking. More and more people started coming to her, and she decided to give classes. She recorded her talks. And since there was so much demand for her teachings, she transcribed the recordings, bound the transcriptions, and gave them to her students to use as a study guide. And they began to share them with others, and she found herself constantly making more copies to meet the increasing demand. One day, an editor for a large book publishing company called her. A friend had given the editor her manuscripts, and the editor wanted to publish it. It turned out the topic was very hot at the time, and her book sold quite well. She realized in looking back at the earlier attempts to write that she needed to grow and learn a lot before her book could be written. It's the same for me. I wanted to write for a long time, and I struggled with it. And then I started helping other people and doing meditations, and then suddenly I was able to write about the stuff that I wanted in the same way, by going through it verbally in the same way. If you're working on a project, remember that your higher guidance is always helping you get it done at the right time. If no matter what you do, you keep resisting or struggling with it, it is either the wrong project or the wrong time. You may need to do something else first and then come back to it. Put your energies elsewhere and follow your joy. You may have been thinking for months about making a change, but don't know what to do, or feel that you do not have the option of leaving your current situation. This is classic. Or you may know what you'd like to do but feel it will cost too much money or require you to do something beyond your skills and resources. Be loving to yourself if you have not taken action yet. It's okay. Don't feel guilty about it. Remember, there's a period of inner work before changes take place. You may be changing your thoughts, reevaluating your life, observing things from a new perspective, and gather the energy needed to make a change. The greater the outer changes you want to make, the greater the inner changes that must be made first. Say this with me. I accept and love myself for who I am right now. Learn to love and accept yourself for who you are right now. Love all the things you've already created. You do not need to be perfect before you do your life's work. Accomplishing your life's work will help you to grow and evolve. As you love and accept who you are right now, you make it possible to move in new directions. You've been doing the best you know how. Start appreciating yourself for who you are rather than thinking about who you wish you were. This will help you move forward more easily. Is there anything you've been criticizing yourself for lately? If so, for one day, every time you think of this thing, see if you can thank yourself for all the good things you're doing instead. Many of you have an inner sense that you have much to accomplish in this lifetime, as if you have a mission. You may worry if you have not yet found out what it is. Trust that everything you're doing is laying the foundations for your greater work to unfold. Some people's life's work is accomplished at an early age. Some people's life work requires years of gaining knowledge and experience before it can be accomplished, and they do their most important work in their later years. If you have that inner sense that you came to do important work and you have not yet discovered the form of that work, keep following your inner guidance and make choices that bring you joy as they are leading you to the greater contribution you came to make. Rather than being hard on yourself for not having accomplished more, spend a moment congratulating yourself on how far you have come and how much you have already accomplished. Give yourself reasons why it may be perfect to be where you are today, rather than criticizing yourself because you have not done more. Focus on all you're doing and learning that is preparing you to have more. Acquiring the skill of talking positively to yourself will help you develop inner strength and trust to take action you will need to take as you follow your path. I want you to believe in yourself. Trust the flow, and you will move to your higher path. A couple of exercises that we can do that are going to help you out. The first is you need to energize a symbol of your life's work. You can find a place where you can relax and think without interruption for a few minutes. Find a time when you can be alone. Close your eyes and sit quietly for a moment. Ask your soul or your higher self to show you a symbol that represents your path of most light, your life's work. Take whatever picture comes to your mind, for it will be the perfect symbol to energize at this time. Imagine that you're holding this symbol in your hands. Picture energy coming from your soul and going directly into your symbol, energizing it. Then imagine that you're placing this symbol on the top of a mountain. Visualize a path leading from you to your symbol at the top of the mountain. See yourself walking or dancing joyfully up to this path, your whole being focused on reaching the top of the mountain. Secondly, when you reach the top, congratulate yourself on your single-minded dedication to your purpose and on how easily you reached your goal. Let yourself feel the feelings you will have when everything in your life is working, when your environment is totally nurturing, alive, and utilizing your highest potential. Take your symbol in your hands and bring it into your heart, letting it energize and radiate light throughout your body until every cell is aligned with your highest purpose and life's work. Then release the symbol to the higher forces of the universe. This energizes the symbol. And as you work with this symbol, you'll draw to you specific ideas of what you can do to accomplish your life's work. Doing this exercise will draw to you the circumstances, people, and events that will launch you on your path. Your intent is important, as in your commitment. The stronger your intent and the more you believe that your life's work exists, the more you will experience success as you listen to and take action on your inner guidance. Sometimes the symbol that you are given is completely bizarre. It doesn't make any sense to you. Don't worry about it. It gives you something to put your energy towards and make that symbol about your life's work. Another thing that you need to do is perhaps discover your life's work. I want you to sit and imagine you're living a life that is truly joyful and loving. How would you answer the following questions? And remember, this is a joyful fantasy. Use your imagination. First of all, what activities are you doing? Or what type of skills are you using, such as reading, talking, negotiating, counseling, thinking, writing, organizing or managing, working with children, or running or participating in sports, working with objects, building things or fixing machines or equipment, or working with plants, animals, or data. List at least 5, preferably more, activities that you are doing and the types of skills that you're doing. Secondly, how many hours a week do you devote to money-making activities? What hours do you work? How many days in a row do you work? How many days in a row do you work each week or each month? Third, do you have a physically active, fast-paced job, or do you work in a slow, relaxed atmosphere? Fourth, do you work with the same people every day? What are these people like? What role do you play with them? How much of the time do you work alone? Fifth, what does your work environment look like? Is it indoors or outdoors, in your home or in a center or office? Do you travel? If so, where and how often? Do you work in the city or in the country? And then sixth, what status do you have, or what role do you play? What responsibilities do you have? What opportunities for advancement? Are you part of a team? Do you work for a large or small company, or for yourself? Do you work for one employer or group, or do you contract your work to several clients? These are questions to ask yourself. You probably have asked these before. As you imagine this joyful life in more and more detail, continue refining and adding to your answers, and even asking more questions. Thinking of even more possibilities and choices, and imagining yourself having even more than you did the previous time. You may find that you get clearer about what you want as you focus on it and take away any limits you've placed on what is possible. You are creating a model that tells your higher self what your ideal life would be like. You have what it takes. It's important for you to know that. Ask yourself, what inner resources or strength could you develop that would help to draw your life's work to you more rapidly? Or if you're already doing your life's work, what inner resources or strength could you develop that would help you move to your next level? What one step would you take in the next week to express that inner resource or strength more fully? Think of as many activities as you can that you do right now that you enjoy. I've discovered that many people, by looking back at the things they enjoyed as kids, realize what energized them back then and gives them their life's purpose now. There's so much more that we can talk about, but it's not difficult and it's not hard. There's a flow to this process. You will find joy and appreciation in the things that you do, and you move to a higher path. So I want you to believe in yourself and know that you can do what you love. It's right there for you. There's a timeline that is perfectly there for you, and I want you to do it. That's why you came here. It's completely possible and totally available to you. Don't overanalyze it. Follow your inner guidance and take that step forward to your new life. You can find all episodes of The Reality Revolution at therealityrevolution.com. And welcome to The Reality Revolution.